Resilience has to do with this trajectory whereby you can be moved or disturbed either side of the line, but you're actually going to keep the general direction. You've got this spacious foundational relationship with the essence of what the trust stands for, what the work stands for. And therefore you can take a lot of knocks, you can take a lot of disturbances, but you will always return to the necessary next step that's needed. And so the ability to remember this is part of, I suppose, that memory is, in the sense of remembering what the essence of something is about, is one of the foundational stones around resilience and robustness. To be able to return to that spaciousness, not forget yourself in the peripheral aspects and the busyness that we all generate as human beings. Well, I think, in the human imagination and in human physical experience, the desert is a place of austere presence and physical necessity. But it's also a place of clarity and far horizons. And so there's an immediacy, a clarity to human incarnation in the desert, and a fierce kind of sense that you must look after yourself and you must know what you're doing. And it's no accident, I think, that a lot of the great contemplative traditions in the world started in deserts. And the whole Christian contemplative tradition started with people from the prosperous cities of the Nile in the 2nd, 3rd and 4th centuries going out into the desert. And in fact, in Christianity, the desert became a metaphor for prayer and contemplation. So I think one of the things people come to look for is that sense of spaciousness and clarity, and there's an austerity which represents a certain form of simplicity in a human life. I think one of the difficulties of the non-profit sphere is that the goals are so idealistic, the goals are so worthwhile, the goals are worth sacrificing yourself for. And there's never enough money, there's never enough people. So it's very easy not to look after yourself. There's a necessary sense of humour about our work. And I mean that in the old Renaissance sense, where the humours were all of these different levels of health in the body that represented different qualities of human being. And so to have a sense of humour means you keep them all in proportion. That whatever perspective you've arranged for yourself, there's always another perspective that makes yours absurd. So you can very easily fall into the dynamic of thinking that there's something wrong with the world all of the time, and that it has to be put right. So I think one of the great tricks, one of the great necessities, of working with people who are vulnerable, or society, portions of society that are vulnerable, or with the ecology or the environment that's vulnerable, is that you have a relationship with the part of the world that's all right just as it is. The frontier between everything being just a miracle in and of itself with the things that need doing is what will keep you alive here, what will give you actually a sense of humour, your ability to laugh at yourself and your endeavours, and nevertheless keep you working away.